I'll be the first person to admit that I'm not the fastest rider, either on the flat and certainly not going uphill. But that said, I know that I'm no slouch either. I can put in a reasonably respectable speed on most of my usual rides. Okay, I'm not going to win any races or anything, but little old ladies on shopper bikes can expect to be on the arse end of an arse whooping when I'm on the road. It would also be fair to say that there are times throughout the year when I am faster and slower generally, and that obviously boils down to fitness and simply being more or less a sack of custard at certain times of the year. One of the worst is after Christmas, which basically is a non-stop marathon of beering and birding it up. But here's the thing, no matter how fast I currently am, I'm on a constant quest to be faster. It wouldn't matter if I was smashing my PBs on Strava or making Peter Sagan look like some weird floppy-haired kid riding a broken tricycle. I'd still want to see if I could push myself just that little bit further and get a few more kms per hour out of the old engine. Now I realise I'm not alone in this view. I don't think there's a cyclist alive that doesn't want to improve their average speed, and this can be especially challenging for us gentlemen of a certain age, as our bodies want to start slowing us down. To some extent, our maximum speed is governed by our maximum heart rate. Essentially, the higher the better for both. But as we get older, our heart rates naturally start to reduce by on average 1 beat per year. Now, this doesn't need to be the end of the world, as there are certain things we can do to stop this. That said, the secret to being faster on the bike over 50 is that it's not really any different to being faster on the bike under 50. Essentially, the things you will need to do to improve your average speed now is to use the exact same method that the young lads are using. I can sum it up with some very simple tips. Do these 3 things and I can guarantee that your average speed will increase. Number 1, ride your bike a lot. Number 2, ride with people that are faster than you. And number 3, give yourself some recovery time between rides. Everyone knows that if you want to get faster or be able to ride further or get fitter or just be a general lycra-clad road warrior, you have to get out and ride your bike. It's common sense that the more you do it, the better you will become at it. But that is only half the story. If you specifically want to be faster on the bike, you will have to ride your bike a bit faster. And while that may sound as obvious as a cardboard cutout, it's actually far easier said than done. Going out and riding your bike for long periods of time will not only raise your overall fitness, which is pretty important to form your base, but it will also increase the chances that you will be riding at the required intensity. For instance, if your ride is 2 hours long, the chances are that you would have spent around 80 to 90% of that ride just ticking over. In heart rate terms, zone 2 or 3. If you were lucky, you may have spent the remainder riding a bit faster or pushing a bit harder, and it's in those moments that you would have been doing what it takes to increase your average speed. By contrast, if your ride was only an hour, you would have reduced that time by half. Now, you could of course save a bit of time by going on shorter rides but riding them at a higher speed, or if you're feeling particularly masochistic, doing a set of formal intervals where you push yourself to your absolute maximum for about 30 seconds, relax and then repeat several times. How you do it is up to you and will depend very much on your personal tolerance for pain. Both methods will give you more or less the same results. The difference though is the time it will take you to achieve them. In addition to your solo efforts, you should also be riding with people who are a bit faster than you for pretty much the same reason. When you're out on the road with others and focusing on the wheel in front, it's a bit easier not to notice how tough it is to raise your average speed in order to keep up. Getting dropped on a climb is also a great motivator, as you will push yourself just that little bit harder than you would have done had you been riding on your own. Us human beings are basically pre-programmed not to hurt ourselves, and it's for this precise reason that we're far more likely to ease up when we're riding alone and it starts to get a bit tough. Add other people to the mix and we take on some kind of herd mentality, and we'll do whatever it takes to return to the group as soon as possible. Luckily for us, there are no lions waiting to eat us the moment we leave the safety of the pack, but I would certainly like to see how fast I could push myself if there were. Choose your herd with care though. Don't try and ride with people that are much faster than you, as there will be a danger that they'll roar off and you'll never see them again. In which case you might as well have ridden solo. Try to find a group that's just a bit faster, one that you have to raise your game in order to keep up. Before you know it, you'll be riding with them quite comfortably. That might then be a good time to look for the next slightly faster group. Pushing ourselves hard and giving ourselves a good workout on the bike is all fine and dandy, but it will mean diddly squat if you don't allow yourself adequate time to recover from it. It may sound counterintuitive, but it's during the time that we spend recovering from exercise that we get the benefit of that exercise. Recovery allows our bodies to repair any damage that we've done and to adapt us to the load that we've just put it under. And by adapt, I mean make it stronger for next time. If you're constantly pushing yourself without allowing time for recovery, your results will be at best disappointing, and at worst actually having a negative impact on your body, resulting in fatigue, strains and potential injuries. Confusingly, there's no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to recovery time. It's very personal and based on several factors, such as your current level of fitness, the intensity of the exercise you've just done, and how fast or slow you can actually recover. The best thing to do is listen to your body. If you feel tired, then you probably need a little more recovery. Getting faster on the bike is not rocket science, or at least the basics aren't. If you ride your bike, ride with others, and then allow yourself adequate recovery time, you will get faster. But bear in mind that other factors may limit how fast that will actually be. Chances are that you probably won't be giving that weird kid with the floppy hair too much to worry about anytime soon, but you may improve just enough to think that you could shave a few more seconds off that PR that you've just smashed. Thanks for watching.